a lot of Democrats are upset with Schumer, and they say they need new leadership, and they're blaming Schumer. Now, are these Democrats upset that the shutdown is over? Are they upset that the Democrats look bad? Or are they upset that it didn't work? Or is it all of the above? Because I would hope that the ones that are upset about this, I hope it's not because they want the shutdown, but it sure feels like that's what they wanted. It almost feels the same way on how they were claiming about wearing masks during COVID. Even when it got to the point where we didn't really need to wear masks anymore, they were holding on. No, you need to wear a mask. You need to wear, holding on. And that's basically what the Democrats were doing here. They were holding on to this thing, whatever this thing was. So are they mad at Schumer that they shouldn't have done this in the first place? Or are they mad at Schumer that he couldn't keep it together? Or are they mad at Schumer that the government is open? Because if they're mad at Schumer that the government is open, they need to resign their position immediately, because your first job as a representative of the government is you're governing a working government.
Yeah.
So if you are rooting for a government to not work, you need to resign because you're not doing your job.
Well, I think the biggest reason they're mad is because their self-serving agenda was exposed. For as long as the government shut down, they could blame it on the Republicans. Oh, they could have stopped this. They could have done this. They could have done that. The only way they could have stopped it was to give them every single thing that they wanted and just completely ignoring parts of the big, beautiful bill that was actually voted into law. They knew they didn't have the votes. It's a law now. Now they want to undo some of the key things like health insurance for illegals. That law was voted on and was passed. That's the process, and it's not good enough for them because they don't have the majority. Majority rules. Elections have consequences. You don't do something like this as leverage to go back and repeal what has already been passed by members of Congress and the Senate. That's insanity. They could do that for anything and everything. That's the difference between these two parties. We've seen it in the past where the Democrats have the majority. I wholeheartedly believe the Republicans don't do this kind of thing. Not that I can ever recall. This is madness. You're going against the democratic process by the president, but you want to go back and undo what was done with that law by holding out and extorting people and using it as so-called leverage.
But here's the thing. The reason why they said they were doing it was because Elizabeth Warren and several of them said our health care in this country is in crisis. And these things need to be done because our healthcare system is in crisis. Okay. Well, geez. What system are we working under for healthcare? The Democrats' Obamacare. Who's the ones that kept that going all through the Obama administration? Trump didn't touch it. You had 4 years of Biden. And then guess what? You're 6 months into the Trump administration, and now all of a sudden, healthcare is a crisis. When the Democrats have owned healthcare all this time, it's been their system, their plan, their leadership, and now if it's in crisis, that means that the plan either wasn't very good to start out with or needed to be changed as time went on, and it didn't. But why is that Trump's fault less than a year into office? Because they've had control over healthcare this whole time. All of a sudden, now it's a crisis. It's a crisis because Trump's in office. They made it a crisis. Just like the price of eggs were a certain price the day before the election, and the day Trump was put in office, they immediately blamed Trump for the price of eggs when the price of eggs were whatever they were the week before.